Hi, this is Greg Noyes, Pacific West Home Inspections. Today I'm doing a pre-listing inspection. It's in the center of the San Fernando Valley, and I want to go over a couple of things that need to be upgraded. And I will return to upgrade the report, and there's no additional fee on that as well. So anything I talk about today could be improved upon or changed or removed, and then it'll be reflected on a new revised inspection report. So I'm in the garage here. A couple things here. The tenant was mentioning that he had a leak here, and then they repaired the plumbing part of it, but they left a big old hole. And this is your firewall to keep the fire from the garage into the house. So this needs to be patched. And then there's signs of black substance here that probably is mold. So there's some, I would recommend get a mold company out here to see what it is and have them remove any remnants of it. In the garage, we like to see ground fault interrupters. Those are the red and black type of receptacles. It's not really necessary for laundry machines, but these are the only outlets I see, so one of them should be a GFI. And it's a new wood structure for the roof, so it looks like they may have had a fire here at one time. So I'll get some clarity on that. Your next home inspector the buyer's inspector will ask the same thing. So talking about the water heater, the vent pipe going up is right against the wood, and there should be a 1-inch gap there. It's easy enough fix to do. It's they take a sawzall and open up the hole. The pipes, the supply lines to the water heater should be insulated, and you have a couple sets of straps here. So the very bottom one, seismic strap, should be removed. They like to have a 4-inch clearance here because during an earthquake, the water heater will bounce up, and this bottom strap may damage the gas control valve. On the gas line coming into the gas control, we like to see another pipe come down. It's called a sediment trap. And when you put a water heater on a framed platform or framed structure, it's supposed to have a drip pan underneath it as well. The water heater is 2005, so it's about 9 years old, and typically they last about 10 years. So you're not going to change it, but get at the end of its useful, serviceable life. Other things with the garage door has the required 2 handles, which we like to see. We got those. When I got underneath it, it did not auto reverse. And then today the garage is full of storage, so I can't see everything in the way. So the front driveway is a asphalt driveway. You can have it resealed. They call it slurry coat, and it has sand in the oil, and it'll fill a lot of these holes and eliminate a lot of the trip hazards. On the right side of the house, we have the electrical panel and the gas panel and water, so we'll look at that next. In the breezeway here, it's got a slate tile floor, and you can see where the slate is coming up here, and the stone is damaged. This would be a trip hazard, so your contractor can take a look at that and fix those repairs. The exterior of the house, the stucco and the eaves appear to be coated with a product called Tex Coat, and even though they guarantee for 50 years, it's really a pretty bad product. It will peel if the house is not prepped correctly. So you can see the original stucco here, and then they glue on this Tex Coat surface, and it's coming loose here on the side of the house. This is a very typical thing I see with this type of product. On the right exterior of the house, you have your main water line come in, and it has a ball valve, which we like to see valve, and has a pressure regulator and a pressure relief, which we like to see as well. And I'll put a pressure test on it later. So, but that's all in good order. The gas meter on the right side of the house, to manually shut it off, is this valve here, and the City of LA requires a seismic gas shutoff valve, which you have here, and there's supposed to be a little chain. Yep, there it is. And so you're in compliant with the City of LA. There's windows have been replaced all the way around. Sidewalk on the right side, there's some cracking and uplifting. I would just let that go. Concrete cracks. And on the right exterior, you have your main electrical panel. It's a 100 amp service, and it's made by a company called Zinsco. And there's been some problems with this type of panel, but the wiring in it looked all right, and it is 100 amps, so it's sufficient enough power. The power line coming in is under 10 feet off the ground. And that was okay when it was built, and today we do it a little differently. We'd have it up higher. The sidewalk out here is uplifted, and the fencing back here, the right exterior fence is a wood, and your rear and left fence is a block wall. And with the vegetation in the rear wall, I really can't see the condition of it. The patio overhang is made out of 2x4s, and we would not use that today. It would be a 2x6 minimum. There's a sag to the structure, and then the outlets on the outside, there's some that are ground fault interrupted, GFI protected, and some aren't. Next thing we're going to look at is the pool. And you can see it's an older pool. The plaster is deteriorated, needs to be replastered. It does have a pool light, and it's protected by a GFI, which we like to see. And there's no perimeter fence around the pool. And your left side gate swings towards the pool. And some recommendations here would be to remove these old diving board braces, because they're trip hazards. And also they have a junction box that's protruding off the surface of the concrete, and that would be a trip hazard as well. The structure over here where the pump is, I'd almost remove the whole structure and just leave the filter and the pump out here, and that could be exposed to the weather. The furnace pool heater is no longer need to be used. It's an older unit and way past its serviceable life, and we don't use them today to heat pools. It's so expensive. If you had a spa, then it would be affordable, but in the case here, it would probably enhance the property if you remove the pool heater. There is a GFI on the pool light here, and the inside cover of the timer here is missing a plastic cover, so we like to see that in place. In this other box they have one, but and then there's some exposed wires here. You can see there's some wiring problems. On the report, it's going to also talk about the grounding or bonding wire system. They came off the gas line, and that's not an approved way to do it. And you do have a newer filter, and does have a gauge on it, and I didn't get it started earlier, so we'll pop this thing on. But the structure here is in repair, needs some repair. And again, I would just probably remove the whole structure and leave the pump and the filter exposed. You can see the structure's missing roofing, and it's not in very good repair. The left exterior of the house, the stucco's texture paint is peeling, so we've talked about that. And all the windows have been upgraded and doors to vinyl. So I'm on the roof and over the garage area, and they have a newer structure, and you do have a dip and where I'm standing now. So when I get back in the garage, I'll see if there's a loose or a bowed rafter. Part of the roof is asphalt shingles, and they usually last about 20-25 years. And then your transition from your garage to the house, they have they use a 90 weight cap sheet, and you can see there's some ponding here. And typically this roof type of material lasts about 12 to 15 years. And what we look for is that if there's, so you get little gaps here, and they did a nice job over here. We say let the tar seep out, and then the where the water sits, we call it ponding. This will deteriorate the roof that much faster because the water evaporates and damages the roof. And this is the vent for your water heater. It's the right size type of pipe. It's we call it a dual wall type B, but it's too close to the wood in the garage. Easy fix to repair, so we like easy fixes. You have a couple skylights they put in. They look like they're tabs. There are tab flashing on them, so that's good. And the very top of the roof, it's your ridge cap, and these usually deteriorate. The ridge caps deteriorate about 8 to 10 years. So today they look in pretty good shape. So you can see this one here is starting to crack. So I'm not sure about the age. The age of the roof is probably probably 6 to 8 years. And the very top of the house is where they located your AC unit, and your furnace part is a carrier, and let's see what brands on this, or if there's a label somewhere. Label's long gone. Oh, here it is. It's carrier, older, because I can't even read it now. So when I was running it today, I was getting a good pressure differential, or temperature differential. The way the roofer mounted this thing, he used blocks, so that's going to vibrate loose, and you may lose your air conditioner on a good earthquake. So a couple of repairs need to be happening there. And then the furnace vent is this one here. It's made out of a transite pipe, and down in the furnace connection to it is a loose connection. You want to have someone out there to fix that. Now I'm going to the back of the house, and they raised the gas line that is going to your pool furnace, pool heater. So if we remove your pool heater, you can actually remove this pipe as well. And they got metal conduit, electrical conduit laying on top of it. And on this conduit, we like to block it above the roof line. We'll put it on little 2x4s, and so it doesn't won't rust it out. You can see it's rusted here. And we're going to look at the chimney here, and you can see it's got a flat screen. And what we like to see is a spark arrestor rain cap. And this peeling here, the chimney cap, the concrete part is below here. There's cracks in that. And then the outside, there's some cracking along the bricks, but it goes all the way back to the bricks itself. So this needs to be looked at by a chimney specialist, and they'll make recommendations for repairs. But you can see this product is this text coat is just terrible. It just peels everywhere, so it's not a very good product. I'm not a big fan of it. On the back of the house, you have that 2x4 structure. I might too helped on walking on. I just heard a creak when I'm walking on, so I won't walk on it. But it's sagging in the middle. It's ponding condition, and then your power line from the outside pole to your house, the wires are exposed here, and so this needs to be replaced. These wires here, it's a dangerous situation, and they're too low. So basically, they should have a newer panel on it, and if they put a new panel in, the new mast head will come up 3 feet above the roof line, and it solves a lot of your problems here. So, but the way it is now, you call it your surface drops are deteriorated. The insulation is deteriorated on them. And I want to walk the back of the roof over the bedrooms. Got a couple of satellite dishes. Roof and all looks in pretty good shape. And then you have a new addition to your rear bedroom here. And at one time, or maybe it still has a wall heater. I think it's been removed. I'll have to double check on that. And you can see the pool from here, missing a fence around it. Deteriorated marshite plaster, needs to be replastered. I'm going to bring the camera around. The shed for your pool equipment is in disrepair. The roof is damaged, and you could actually remove the whole structure and have your pump and filter exposed, and that would work just as well. You know, clean up your backyard. So again, we're going to go downstairs. A couple things I want to point out in the interior of the house. So we're in the house now, and you can see the holes, combustion vents in the furnace. They've been covered over, and we like to have these open to bring air into the furnace. We call this a flexible gas connector, and we don't run it through the wall of the furnace anymore. It should be hard piped to the outside and then connected there. And I took the door off, and so we haven't had any air for the last hour, and everybody's getting saturated in heat. But I wanted to point out a couple things here. The bottom box underneath the furnace, we call that a plenum box. And if you look carefully, you see all the dirt and debris down there. And that needs to be cleaned. And then also a lot of dust in this bottom fan motor area. So we'd like to see that all cleaned up. So I want to put everything back together and get the air back on, because it's getting a little steamy here.